Hey guys, normally I do music reactions. Today doing something a little different. This is from a former CEO, says he's going to tell us how to answer the question, tell me about yourself during a job interview. So let's check it out.
Hey everyone, so tell me about yourself. The most common job interview question of all time.
Yeah.
Usually the thing that they ask you
Totally
first
sucks.
as an icebreaker when you first sit down at your job interview. Now there are a million ways to answer this open-ended question, and there's also about a million YouTube videos out there giving you various ways to answer it. But today, I'm going to give you the quickest, simplest, best way I've seen to answer this question. Okay, let's look at this thing from the other side of the fence.
Let's hear what it is,
Let's look at it from the perspective of the recruiter or hiring manager. Usually when you post a position, you get a...
Okay, I can guarantee he's going to say they're just trying to weed you out from all the other people who are applying for jobs. It's very competitive out there, as you guys know. So that's my prediction on what he's going to say for this part.
A lot of responses, and you may well end up with, especially these days, with over 100 candidates applying for the position.
Oh,
so
yeah,
for you,
easily.
This is an elimination game. Your job is to go from 100 applications down to one candidate that you select. Now, from the perspective of the job seeker,
they're just trying to find a way to cross you off the list.
Who's being interviewed, you don't know the criteria they use to eliminate people. Oh, sure, there's posted requirements for the position, but the problem is more than one person may meet all posted requirements. So there's often a hidden criteria that they don't tell you of what will get you eliminated or hired. For example, something I've seen in the past is a hiring manager who's a fan of a particular sports team, and if you happen to volunteer that you're a fan of the opposing sports team, that may be grounds to eliminate you on the fact that you might not be a good
That's ridiculous.
And this does happen. Now, we're going to make one assumption here, and that is that they've actually read your resume. If you apply for a position and you send in your resume and then they later receive it and then call you in for an interview, usually that means that they've read your resume. Not always. I have seen cases where that hasn't actually occurred, but in the vast majority of cases, we can assume this to be true. So what does this mean? This means that
they always say the resume is basically your way of trying to get into the door. Just that's your ticket to the interview.
Content on your resume is safe. Everything you've written on there did not result in you getting eliminated. So it's safe content to use, and we're going to be coming back to that. Now, when you get asked, tell me about yourself in a job interview, this is what you do. Start off by saying, well, as you can see from my resume, that's the first thing you say. Then go down your resume in chronological order, starting with the oldest material and then getting closer to the present and finally talking about your most recent experience. This should take about 45 seconds, no more than a minute. Then end with the phrase, and that's what brings me here today and why I'm excited to learn more about this opportunity. You see, your purpose in a job interview is to communicate to the person interviewing you how you're the person for the job.
My recommendation would be to say not just this is why I'm interested in learning more about this job, but you should say this is what makes me a good candidate, or this is what makes me the best candidate. But just don't sell yourself short, for sure.
How you meet all the qualifications. That's your purpose in the interview. You don't want to waste your time talking about something you did 15 years ago that has absolutely nothing to do with this position and is just taking up time. That's why you want to summarize your resume in 45 seconds to a minute. No more than that, really. See, it's a well-known fact that people absorb and retain only a small proportion of what they hear. It's like a very small percentage of what you hear that you actually understand and retain and can recall later. So that's why you want to mention more than once how you meet all the qualifications. You want to make sure it registers. So when you get the question, tell me about yourself, all you have to do is say, well, as you can see from my resume, and then you summarize your resume in about 45 seconds to a minute. Maybe start with your education.
Okay, there you go. Like most of you, you probably don't need to watch the rest of this video. I know that's how it goes on YouTube. You find the answer you're looking for, you're just trying to get some information. I do the same way. And so this is basically what this guy is saying, of just summarize your work history in 1 minute and why you are an excellent candidate who meets all the criteria. The other thing that I would add on top of this is that maybe talk about your own goals or interests, things like that. That might help explain why you're a good fit there for that company. All right, thanks for watching this video. Yeah, the last 2 minutes is this guy showing his channel and Patreon and everything, which is totally fine. You know, check it out. I'll put a link in the description. But we don't need to see that. We get it, right? I'm grateful for you guys watching this video. Do you find this interesting? Do you like this? Let me know what you think. Thanks so much. Please hit the old like button and drop a comment. Thanks.